Hello and welcome to another video. We're in the Welsh mountains again. We're at LLyn Idwal. The lake's right behind you there, and you're looking over towards that way towards Panoramic, I think it is. I'm with a client, as you can see behind me, so I won't be doing a lot of videoing today, but I will be doing a little bit. And today's video is going to be about panoramics. I know I've got the wide angle on, but that's my starter image. Get the starter image done, and as soon as the light starts to creep in and we get a little bit of colour coming down the valley and hitting the tops of the mountains, I'm going to flip the lens over, I'm going to change the lenses over, I'm going to flip it over into vertical and do a panoramic. I'm going to try and explain how I do a panoramic and hopefully run you through it on the computer as well. So yeah, stay with us and see how we get on with that one. Don't do it very often, but I'm sure it's time. And that's another Paul, by the way. And he's a very good photographer apparently, so we'll find out today sometime. Give him a wave, Paul. See, he is alive. Right, so yeah, I've got the wide angle on. I'm literally shooting down the valley, f11, focused on the rock in the foreground, and I'm going to go straight into it today. None of this running around, climbing around. I came up here in the dark, and Paul's been here once when he was about 14 years old, so he's not been here before. So he's looking forward to being in the mountains. He comes from Devon, where they don't have a lot of mountains down there at all, do they? So yeah, let's see how we get on with this one. I won't talk too much about it now because there's not a lot of light going on. It's about sunrise time. Let's have a look. We've got about another 10 minutes before sunrise, 10 to 15 minutes, but there is a lot of cloud over there in the distance, so I think it's going to snub out most of the interesting light, but we'll see what happens once it starts to break through them clouds and make them little patchy light patches, hopefully. Excuse me. They haven't give rain for between now and 9-10 o'clock, so fingers crossed we'll get away with it. But yeah, let's get on there and take a few photos, shall we? Photos? Take a few photos. I need a drink. Coffee time first. Right, let's explain my setup a little bit for you. I'm going to show you a couple of images just on the side here as well from times I've been here in the past. I've been here in the snow. It was an absolutely great experience. It's really hard to get to these places in the snow. So we were actually in the valley at the time and there was snow all across the top of this hillside. It was absolutely amazing. A couple of my favourite photographs from this area. I've also taken them in different shades of light as well. So I'll put up a couple of why I'm sort of talking about it, because this is a really cracking area, and I will get out my phone. I've started doing this, haven't I? And I'm going to give you the what-free words to tell you the exact location of where I am. So let me just get the what-free words up, wherever I've hidden it. It's somewhere in the navigation system, what-free words. I'll give you those points and I'll put them on the picture below. It's Mount Panoramic and Outsmart. I'll do a screenshot of that and I'll put that up on the screen for you now. Right, so camera's on. Like I said before, I've got the wide angle on at the moment. I'm at 10mm, I'm all the way wide because I've got this nice little stream down here in the bottom corner. I want to get the stream leading through the image, and I've got the rocks on the right hand, so it's almost like an arrowhead leading in, and I've got this lovely little river leading through. I've got Panoramic on the left hand thirds, and then I've got the valley going down to the right hand side, which was hoping to get the light coming through, which we're not actually getting at the moment. I've put the polarizer on. I've got my case polarizer. Now the reason I've put it on, we have got this little stream running in from this bottom corner down here. It's coming through and it's causing this nice little line coming through this bottom image. And there's your arrowhead there. You can see you've got the river coming through this way, leading through that way, and then you've got the other side coming in with these rocks. So you've got this arrowhead coming through the image onto that nice bright bit of water, leading you through. You've got Panoramic in there, going down into the valley where we're hoping to get that bit of light coming back this way. So that's the image, nice and simple, and it's all about that arrow leading you through the image to direct your eyes into it. The polarizer, again I'll show you with the polarizer. If you look down in this bottom corner, as I turn the polarizer, you can see it just lightens the water. It's just bringing the water up, and what I want to do is just cut through that glare on that bottom piece, just cutting through that glare down here, just to get rid of some, so you can actually see into the rocks in the water down there, and it's quite nice. So that's the video image. I'm going to go back over to stills before I make a mistake, and yeah, just turn it off and wait now. My battery's showing red because the last time I used it, so I'm going to change my battery and just hope we get a little bit of light to hit these hills and it'll make a cracking little shot. Then I can hit the panoramic out. So we've just got a bit of colour coming out in the sky now. So I'm going to take the lens cap off because it's really dark with that on, obviously. And make sure my polarizer is still set because I've been playing with the camera. And I'm just going to do a bracketed shot focused on the rock down here in the foreground. Paul's got his panoramic set up. I've just been over and had a chat with him, and he's got this lovely panoramic set up with the two mountains either side. You've got Trifan and you've got Panoramic either side, and he's got a nice pano sweeping right across the image, and it looks really cool. But there is a little bit of colour down there in that bottom corner, so hopefully that shot will pick it up. It's just a little bit of a pinky glow. There is some light, if we've seen some light hitting the tops of these clouds above the other ones. So something's going on down there, so I've run back over just because it might only be a fleeting moment of a little tiny bit of colour, and that might just be it, because there's some thick cloud down there snubbing it out. There's a little bit of cloud over the top of Trifan, and that's just catching the light as well. So something might happen, So I might actually switch over and put the panoramic on and then go through the panoramic and explain that for you, because that's kind of what this video is about. So let me quickly swap the lens over and I'll explain what I'm doing. Right, so I've flipped my camera now onto a vertical shot, and I haven't changed the lens, I've just zoomed in. I've managed to zoom into about 16, 17 mil, and that's given me enough. I'm getting some light just above the clouds up there, and I just want to set the panoramic up now to make sure I've got everything in that I can get in. So I'm going to go slightly higher because I want to get a little bit more of the cloud in above LLyn, I think it is. I'm going to keep saying it until I get home and realise I've got it wrong. I'm in manual mode, complete manual now, because I'm at ISO 160, f11, which is the important bit, and then the timer I'm on, it says 2 seconds for timer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it into timer mode, and I'm going to wind it down, not that way because that's 5,000ths of a second. I'm going to wind it down until I get the light just about right. That's giving me one stop underexposed, so from right hand side to left hand side I've got a good dynamic range. I'm bracketing anyway, and that should give me all the information. And again, I'm going to start off on this side. I've got the river right down the bottom corner. Make sure the camera's level. It's not quite level, just tip it over, there we go, level in the screen on the back, and away we go. First shot, single shot, 2 second timer with my hand in front of it, that way I know what's going on. The colour's just fading over there now. Then I'm going to put it back into bracketing, and I'm going to start the panoramic. Each time I do the panoramic, I'm going to overlap it a third of the image, so I look at where my guidelines are on the back of the screen, and I just undo the pano lock, turn it and fire again, and each time just overlapping the image so that each one becomes stacked over the top of itself. Bracketed shot, 2 second timer each time. Just gradually move it around, take in everything you can. Do it quite quickly because the clouds are moving, and what you don't want to do is each panoramic with the clouds in a different place. So it's best to keep an eye on it, and as soon as it's finished taking the images, get it moved straight away. I've got people walking up as well, they'll have to be cloned out because in each image they're going to be in a slightly different place. The light's snubbed out again already. It literally was instantaneous, that light. And then we get round to this side, we've got Trifan in now, and I'll get one more a bit further round. It's all about the cropping at the end. One more further round, and that should give me all of the mountain range right round, but no light unfortunately. That's it, so I can go back to the beginning. Let's just do another single shot. Let's clip it round to single, there, and just take another one just to say that I've finished that pano. That's it. Right, so we are now going to just sit and wait again and see if that colour comes back out. That's all we can do. Hello, so now you're joining me in the studio suite, as they like to say. You can see on the screen in front of you, we've got the full set of images. We've got the first one we took with my hand in, and then we've got the last one we took with my hand in. And between all of those, we've got a set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the bracketed shots. This is your normal exposure. This is your 2 overexposed, this is 1 overexposed, this is 1 underexposed, and this is 2 underexposed. Now I wouldn't necessarily use all of these images. I'd probably leave out this maximum overexposed one and possibly the underexposed, or the overexposed one and the underexposed one. But for this experiment I'm just going to select them all. So I'm going to select right from the beginning of the first image all the way down to the end of the last image, and I'm going to click Shift and press on the last image, and that will highlight all the images in the set. And this is really simple to do this. We then right click, we go down to photo merge, and as it's a HDR panoramic, that's a standard panoramic, this is a HDR panoramic, we're going to click on that. And this does take a few minutes on my computer. It's a very slow computer, so it will take a little while to catch up with itself. So I'm just going to fast forward it until we get to the end. So you can see the image is now popped up. I had to stop recording and start recording again. And if you look down in the bottom screen from when I started to now, it's taken quite a long time for my computer to process this image. Anyway, so what you're looking at is some white around the outside of the frame. This is all the image it's put together. And I never click tick to crop, auto crop, because I like to crop it myself to standard sizes. So this is the image, and all I've got to do then is pick which panoramic I want to do in, and cylindrical is the one that normally works for me most of the time. So I now have to click merge, and again we're going to have a waiting time, so I'm literally going to click merge and I'm going to jump straight over to when it goes back into Lightroom, save me waiting. Here we go, we are now back in Lightroom. As you can see there, it now says 36. If I open that up, you can see all the images are hidden underneath. So what it does, I had the box that was ticked to say to stack the images afterwards. It just means it closes them down. I then go onto the hand images, click X, hand image and click X. That puts them down as mark as reject, which I'll get rid of later on. Right, so this is the image we want. So I'm going to click on that and then click on develop. This is going to bring this image up. And the first thing I'm going to do is crop it. You can see down on the right hand side that Lightroom has already decided how it wants to process the image that's best for it. Now I know it's not the perfect image, I know it's not the best light or anything like that, but it was just to start the first panorama we've taken, and it does get better as I go on. That's a promise. Right, so first thing is crop. So I'm going to go onto the crop tool, open it up, and I use standard crops. You can see in my little list here I've got a 1:1, I've got a 10:8, I've got the standard 6:4, and then I go down to a 16:9, which I also use, and then I've got, for panoramics, I use 3:1 and a 2:1. So I'm going to click on a 2:1, and as you can see there, it's almost a 2:1, but with the white edges. I'm now going to click constraint image, which basically means it's going to stick the 2:1 inside the white borders, and that doesn't look too bad to where it is. But what I don't like is this little top corner up here. I wanted it just to get that inside there, so I'm going to shrink it down a little bit, and I'm just going to move it up just to get it to where I want. Now what I tend to do sometimes is up in this right hand corner, if I just get rid of the information on the top there, up in the left hand corner here, I tend to probably switch the constraints off, lift it up and have it a little bit higher, and then open it in Photoshop and tidy that top corner up. But that does take a little bit of time. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you how that works. So I'm going to keep it inside constraints inside that. I'm going to crop it to there, and this might take me a few more moments, makes the video a little bit longer. And then I'm going to adjust my sliders slightly. I'm going to put a little bit more color in there by bringing the vibrance up a little bit. I'm going to put a bit more texture into the image because I like a little more texture. A little tiny bit of clarity, and I'm just going to check on my sharpening. So my sharpening, I'm going to whop my sharpening right up, and I'm going to put a mask on it. By holding Alt and sliding masking up, you can see that it makes it black and white, and I can see just the parts that's being sharpened. So anything white is the sharpened stuff, and anything black is the non-sharpened stuff. And I'm going to bring the detail down because we don't need the detail up. Right, we've got a bit of a vignette on there. Let's pull a little bit of a vignette in there so it pulls you into the center of the image, and that'll probably do me for now. I might just bring the colors up just a little bit more, make them a little bit more punchier. But that'll do me for standard looking picture. Like I say, it's not perfect, but we do need to clean and tidy up this top hand corner. So I'm going to right click on the image. I'm going to go to open in or edit in, and I'm going to click on edit in Photoshop. And again, I might have to jump to the Photoshop because it'll take a few moments for it to open up. Right, you can see now that we are opened up in Photoshop. Photoshop is here, and it's showing the little checkered squares in the top corner because the image is the base image. So you can see on there, there's only one layer, there's nothing else below it, so it's just showing through that top image. So what I want to do now is to repair that top part of the image, and this is very, very, very simple in Photoshop. I've got my tools over on the right hand side. I'm going to create a second layer of this. I'm going to drag it down onto the layers, and it's going to create a copy layer, so I can work on the copy just in case I ruin the first image. So I'm going to work on this top layer. That's the bottom layer, that's the top layer, this is the copy. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to go over to my healing tool, click on the healing tool. I'm just going to make my brush a little bit bigger, like so, which is the brackets, open brackets and closed brackets, makes it bigger and smaller. And I'm just going to brush over the top of that area, and this should do an almost invisible repair, as long as I've got content aware ticked in this top corner, which it always is on my computer. It's always standards, click to that. And it's going to take a few moments for it to work out what it wants to do, and you normally get some spinnies. There we go, and it's repaired it. Now I don't think that's done a bad job. It's absolutely perfect in that top corner. I'm just going to drag it over and show you that. I don't think that's done a bad job whatsoever, and I'm quite happy with that. There's a little tiny spot just there, so I'm just going to stab that one there to make sure it gets rid of that. And there might be a slight recurring line, so let's just hit the lines there and hit the lines there, just so it lets it mix it up a little bit. And then when I go back out again, which is Control-0, full screen, you can see that the image is pretty good. Now if there was other stuff in here you wanted to clone out at the time, you can get all of that, and spot healing, you can touch it down there and it'll get rid of that little bit and things like that. It will do anything you want and tidy it up if you need to, but I don't think there's much more that you need to be doing in that. So, oh, there's some people. I'll tell you what, there's some people. Let's do a little bit of spot healing. So I'm going to make my tool a bit smaller, and let's get rid of some of these people. So we're going to just drag it over there, and hopefully it will work it out and do a good job of itself, which it didn't do too good a job of that, but I can repair that in a moment. And again, we're just going to drag it over a couple of times, and then we'll repair those, the pathway. I'm going to leave those two people in there, but those other ones had to go. So now I'm going to go into clone, which is my clone stamp, and I'm going to click Alt, and I'm going to use that as my clone area. And then I'm just going to go back over to that side and just a little bit of, just dab it in with a brush. And then I'm going to go over the other side. I'm going to go up here somewhere and do the same again, take that as my area, and I'm just going to dab that in. And you're not going to know when we go back to the image in a minute which is the good bit and which is the bad bit. And I'm going to drag that back out. I'm just not sure about that bit there, so I'm just going to do another little bit there just to try and get that a little bit sharper. Making a bit of a mess of it now, so I'm just going to get rid of a couple of brush strokes like so, and then when I zoom back out you can hardly see that. So all I'm going to do now is go back onto that tool. I'm going to click close. It's going to give me the option to save it, blah blah blah. Yes, I'm going to click yes, and that will put that image together as a TIFF. Close it down, close Photoshop down, and it'll also reopen Lightroom. So I'm going to jump back into Lightroom, and then the new image will jump back on here as soon as it gets work. It's going to take a little bit of time, so I'm just going to jump screen. And we are now back into Lightroom, and you can see in this top left hand corner the picture's now been repaired and all the sliders have been set to 0. This is now a TIFF. If I bring up the information for you, there we go. This shows it's now a TIFF. It's a panoramic TIFF, which is saving all the information from Photoshop. You can see there that you can hardly see the bits in the middle where I've cloned it and got rid of those people. But what I will do is I'm just interested in seeing whether I can just warm the image up a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little bit of warmth to the image, because I think it needs a little bit of warmth to the image. And I don't mind adding it onto the TIFF. Again, punch out the greens a little bit more. I'm going to bring that vibrance up because it just starts to bring everything out a little bit more. And you can see there's a little bit of colour and texture in the sky, apart from this horrible patch in the middle. And you could actually repair that if you wanted to. But I'm going to drop a grad down on the top. And I'm just going to have a look by putting a bit of a soft grad. The wider it is, the softer it is. And I'm just going to drag down and reset everything by double clicking effects. And I'm just going to drag up the clarity and drag up the dehaze. And what that's doing is it's just punching out the sky a little bit. And I'm just going to bring up the shadows so that my mountains are not too dark. You can see with them down, they're dark. So I'm just going to bring them up just to bring them back up to spec a little bit. And that's just punched out the sky a little bit. And then we drop that down. I think that will do. And then all I would do then is export that, and I'm going to show you the final image. Well, it's all panic stations, it's all rush, rush, rush. I've run round to the other side of the river. All of a sudden the clouds broke a little bit in the distance and it's just gone bang, and we've got light everywhere at the moment. It's not beautiful golden colour light or, you know, pinks and blues and stuff like that. It's just a nice glow of light. It's really, really nice. So I've shot another couple of panoramic shots. Again, I'm going to pick a couple of them out and I'll do a bit of processing for you. I've just noticed behind you as well, the camera, the light's hitting the mountain behind as well now. We're getting these fleeting glimpses of light coming across up the valley, and it's just kissing the tops of the hills and just rolling up the hillside, which is quite nice. There's a bit of a nice glow behind Trefan as well. Paul down here, I've just said to Paul, it's his day. If he needs to kick me out the way, then just kick me out the way. He's like, no, 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 but I bloody would. Get someone out of the way. But yeah, it's a gorgeous little morning now. It's turning out quite nice with a nice little bit of colour. You probably can't see it on there, but the light's just hitting the top now over there, and it's just going to roll down the hillside. Pretty good. I think I've got a couple of nice shots actually. The polarizer, I've been playing with the polarizer between sort of half on and off, so I've got a little bit of sheen on the water and not cutting all the glare out together, because that's part of the colour as well. I think you need that little bit of contrast to lead you through the shot. But yeah, it is. It's turned out quite a nice little morning. And I know Paul's enjoying it. All I can hear is as he's running around trying to get his tripod set up every moment. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I've also got another shot set up as well. While I was doing a panoramic, I noticed these boulders down in front of me, and I've got 3 boulders and then the river leading off. So I've taken a static of that as well, and I'll put that one up right for you now while I'm talking on the side there. An absolutely cracking shot. It really does lead down. I've ignored the mountains a little bit and just gone for the river and the flow and the glow of the pool down there. And it really, I think it really is quite a nice shot, that. It's hard to get something that sort of floats my boat these days, but that's nice. I just love these 3 boulders in the foreground. This is nice, turning out nice. I'm just going to enjoy a little bit of this now. Alright, don't eat me bag, come on, play nicely now. You're not having what's in there. You're not having what's in there. Hello, hello. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Come on, you got to leave it alone. It's mine. I'm having it. Hello, how are you? Cracking little chapsies. Hello, you alright? Alright. Hello, you're friendly you are, aren't you? What's with this? What's with this? Bit of grass. How amazing is that? I've never seen ponies here, and they're tiny and they're not afraid of you at all. They're right, literally right here. One of them was trying to eat me back, so I thought I'd race over and get it. But look, there's loads of them. Look at all these ponies. How absolutely fantastic. I've taken my mind off the photography. Wow. Right, let's get back over here. Now I've rescued me back. God, yeah. Fancy eating me. I was halfway through chewing my strap, he was. Look at the light now though. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. Morning glow. It's cold though. It's a bit chilly on the old legs. Legs. Oh, nearly dropped my camera. A bit chilly on my old arms. And this is quite hard to get round here. So I'm going to have to stop recording and get round the other side.
And I'm thinking, shit, I wish it had been up northern. No, but this is just a stun.
Full for the light, and it's turned out all right. So let's get round this other side now. The light now is absolutely fantastic. You can see I'm up on top of this big boulder, slightly different angle. I'm sort of ignoring the river a little bit, and walk in front of it if you want to, don't worry about it, Paul. I've just come up on top of this boulder because I can look down the valley a little bit more, and the light now is just shining on the side of LLyn, and I've got these lovely big boulders down here in the foreground, all scattered around, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It's a different shot to what I normally would take here, so I'm actually quite pleased with this. And if I can get all this light in this dynamic range, bracket in the shots, then it should look pretty awesome. I might just have to do a couple more really underexposed because the light down here is so bright. Oh, it's turned out an absolute corker of a morning. I'm gonna have to do 2 panos, definitely underexpose a bit more. And you can see the tripod is stretched right out, balanced on this rock, just literally wedged in a couple of the little cracks. So I'm just gonna go back now, I'm just gonna wind it down and underexpose just to bring those highlights down. And I'm gonna go back and do exactly the same all the way back round. So I've got the two sets of panos to go together. That's a lot darker. So hopefully we should keep all this mood in the sky because it looks really good. Absolutely fantastic. It's so dark and moody up the top there, yet the light shining through on the mountain. Oh, this was only going to be a 5-minute vlog just to show you how to do some panoramics. It's turning into an epic story. Wow. I'm going to get one on my phone as well because it's brilliant. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. I know what I'm going to do while I'm here, just to make sure I get it all in the bag. God, look at that view. I'm going to flip it round to horizontal and I'm going to shoot one zoomed in just on that because that looks immense and I think that's stunning. Absolutely stunning. I've got the little water patch down there. I've got the rocks in the foreground, LLyn. God, I hope it is LLyn. I'm going to focus on the mountain this time and I'm just going to do a really dark bracketed shot and just to see if I can get the essence of that mood in this shot because that's something else. Brilliant. I'm going to slow down now, compose, control, and definitely supping this up. Your mate's eating a plastic pot. I'm going to have to take it off of him. Look at this, this is what upsets people. There's a couple of ponies here, and this guy here, this little black guy here, or dark brown one, he's got a plastic cup in his mouth and he's chewing on it. And if he was to swallow that, he could be a goner. I shouldn't stand behind in case you give me a kicking. I'll try and take it off him if I can. He obviously wants what's inside it. Hey, hey. Let's have that pot. Come on. I'm not letting you have that. Come on, let's have it. Mine. Thank you. Look at this. That is disgusting. This little guy here is chewing on it. And if he'd have swallowed it, he could be a goner. Please don't leave your rubbish lying around. It's a disgusting habit and you need to take your rubbish home with you. Fancy that little pony there laying on his back with that shoved in his gob. Right, I'm going to have to try and find somewhere to put this in my bag, sanitise my hands, and he obviously wanted what was inside it, but that's my good deed for the day. No! 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 You're not having it. You just want to eat everything, don't you? No, 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 no. No, 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 you're not having me tripod. I'm moving, I saved his life, took that plastic out of his mouth, now he wants to eat me tripod. He's eating your tripod now. He's obviously hungry. Easy, few minutes that was. These little brown ones down here, they were just eating me tripod. They've been chomping on me tripod. I've now got teeth marks. I've got teeth marks in me tripod here, and even tried eating me video camera. Let alone me bag where they've had the straps in their mouth. I've never known ponies like it. Absolutely terrorised by ponies. But it's made the morning. Here comes a brown one now. He probably thinks I've got something here. No, you're not having it either. Hello. Dead friendly. Look at them. Dead friendly. But I'm just a bit weary of them now though, chomping on something. I don't want them biting into the filters and things like that because their teeth are pretty strong. No, you're not having me tripod. No, no, look at him. Not having me tripod. I don't know what your mate wants, but you're not having it either. I'll give you a stroke. No, see, look, get off, get off. No. Look at him down here. He thinks he's eating it. You're not having it. Right, I'm going to have to carry my tripod for a minute because they just want to eat it. I'm going to move over here out of his way because I can't let them bite through my straps, and it is carbon fibre after all. Right, so now I can say goodbye hopefully. Paul's laughing his head off down here, look at him. Last time I bring him out on a workshop, he probably brought these ponies with him. He probably did actually, he's from Devon. So yeah, I'm going to say thanks for watching. I'm going to go back over, obviously you've been seeing me in the studio, and I've come back here. Studio, I've not got a studio, I've got a little room at the back of the house. But yeah, you've seen me process the Panoramics. The light's gone now, completely gone. We're packing up, we're going to go for a walk. I'm going to take him up for a walk around the lake while we're here. Then we're going to go back to the van, get some proper breakfast and well, actually I'm going to sit down and have a cup of coffee first, away from these ponies. Look, he's coming back again. He's coming back to get me again. You're not having a walking stick either. He definitely wants something. I blame Paul, he's got apples in his mouth, apples in his bag. Right, I'm going. Till next time, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the video, and hopefully you got something out of it. And please leave us a comment, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of these ponies, if you ever come across them. But yeah, the Ogwyn Valley, that's the Ogwyn Valley. LLyn Idwal's down there, LLyn Idwal's behind us, and that's Devil's Kitchen. So until next time, for me and this little chap down here, still trying to eat me tripod, ciao for now. See you soon.